Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Before the Kickoff podcast. I am your host, James Christopher, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host, Chase Oliver. Chase, what's going on in Cali?
It's going great here in Cali. It's actually nice and warm weather, but what's more important is it's Super Bowl weekend, and or Super Bowl week, I should say. Watching old Super Bowls, watching highlights, watching some of the best plays in Super Bowl. And I want to ask you, James, what is one of your favorite Super Bowl moments before we kick this off?
Well, even though, it was pretty recent, but I really loved the Pittsburgh Steelers, Arizona Cardinals. I thought that was a great finish. The whole toe touch thing. I mean, I know that was reviewed for about 15 minutes. But it was just a great Super Bowl to watch with family, with friends, and I did want the Steelers to win that game for obvious Kurt Warner reasons. We go way back. He did not need another Super Bowl filled with bull crap. What about you?
One of my favorite moments is when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and John Gruden destroyed the Oakland Raiders. Oh, and another one is when the New York Giants' David Tyree helmet catch ended the New England Patriots' undefeated season. Those are just some great moments, and I cannot wait. We're going to see so much good stuff this week, so I can't wait.
It's time for our Super Bowl predictions. We have the Baltimore Ravens facing the San Francisco 49ers. First, let's talk about what happened with each team. I have the Ravens, so let me go first. Talk about what happened to the Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens had an interesting season this year. A season that had many ups and many downs. A huge down when Ray Lewis and Ladarius Webb both went down, and we thought that both players would be out for the rest of the season. Now, one of them was in Ladarius Webb, but the other, in Ray Lewis, was able to make a great comeback and is playing in this game today and has played throughout the playoffs, has given this team a huge spark, and it's just been amazing what Ray Lewis has been able to do. Now, something that I want to address is people have been saying, the Baltimore Ravens are the first team to lose 4 out of 5 games and make the Super Bowl. Now, yes, that statistic is true, but one of those games was the last game of the season, and they benched all of their players. So let's not even look at that. We're not even going to look at that stat. The big thing is they lost 3 games: Pittsburgh, Washington, Denver. And it was here that I was like, maybe these losses of Ray Lewis and Ladarius Webb will stop them from making the playoffs. But they found a way. They found a way to fight through and to come strong and to say we will make the playoffs. Because at this time they were about 8 and I believe 8-4 or something like that, or 8-2 I believe, or something like that. And then they went on this 3-game losing streak, and I was like, what's going on with the Baltimore Ravens? But they found a way to hang in there, and that's why they are in the Super Bowl today, beating the Indianapolis Colts, what they should have, and then upsetting the Denver Broncos and New England Patriots. There's no doubt that the Baltimore Ravens deserve to be here.
And I, on the other hand, am taking the San Francisco 49ers to win this football game. The San Francisco 49ers last year made noise in the NFL under new coach Jim Harbaugh, beating the New Orleans Saints in the NFC Divisional, and it was the arrival of one Alex Smith, former number 1 draft pick out of the University of Utah. Alex Smith proved to his peers he's ready to be a starter in the NFL. Under Alex Smith was leading the 49ers to very good success until they played the St. Louis Rams, and Alex Smith suffered a concussion and entered a new quarterback, entered a new offensive system. Colin Kaepernick came in and ran wild all over the NFL. He was probably one of the most under-the-radar stories before the playoffs this year, in my personal opinion, before the playoffs, like I said. But when it came down to Colin Kaepernick, Kaepernick just lighted up with his feet and with his arm. Michael Crabtree became part of the offense much more heavily than veteran Vernon Davis. And also, a new fresh face in the running game thanks to injuries of Kendall Hunter and Brandon Jacobs, who later got cut. LaMichael James finally got his chance to shine in the NFL, and he has done so under Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick, Alex Smith, it was the hugest debate for a lot of fans in football. Who should start? Now, you guys may be asking, what team was I on? I was on Team Alex Smith for the longest time. Believe it or not, I believed Alex Smith was the guy. He should have been the guy. But once I saw Colin Kaepernick break records against that Green Bay defense, who apparently stopped the almighty Purple Jesus and Adrian Peterson the week before, I didn't think Colin Kaepernick would run 186 yards against these men. Colin Kaepernick won me over. Not only that, he led a comeback against the Atlanta Falcons when the 49ers were down. And let's not give all the credit to Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick. It's also that San Francisco 49ers defense. Patrick Willis, Deshaun Goldson, Navarro Bowman, those boys, Justin Smith, Alden Smith tied for most sacks in the NFL this season. They have also been the reason why the 49ers have been so successful in the Super Bowl run. And no doubt, they deserve to be in the Super Bowl facing against the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, finally, Chase, it comes down to this. Who are you picking to win Super Bowl 47?
Like I already said it, I am going with the San Francisco 49ers. The reason why I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers is I don't think Baltimore is going to lose by a big margin. I think they're probably going to lose by a touchdown, maybe a field goal. I think this game is going to be really close, really exciting. I feel that the way the San Francisco 49ers win this football game is taking away the deep ball from Joe Flacco. I've noticed that Joe Flacco, he's not really good throwing the short routes. And when he has to throw the short routes, he has to throw it to receivers like Dennis Pita. Dennis Pita, yeah, he did pretty well earlier this season as a tight end, but he's not really the most reliable guy. And it feels like Torrey Smith, Anquan Boldin, and Jacoby Jones, who I think is the X factor of this game. I think Jacoby Jones is the biggest X factor for the Baltimore Ravens this year in the Super Bowl. I feel like if you could get those guys to play short routes, it's going to cause trouble because that 49ers defense, when they can get linebackers lining up against some of the best receivers that the Baltimore Ravens have, they just beat them up. We saw what happened with Roddy White and Julio Jones when they had to run short routes. It wasn't fun for them. Take away the deep routes, the 49ers defense, they will be solid. But if they let Joe Flacco throw that football, it will smell trouble. Now for San Francisco's offense, in all honesty, to be honest, keep doing what they're doing. I don't think Baltimore has the defensive ends to stop the read option. They do have the middle linebackers to stop the read option. And also, I really do feel that they must find a way, and I know it sounds wrong to say this, they must find a way to try to take Colin Kaepernick out of this game. Take Colin Kaepernick out of this game where he can't use his feet. Make it where they lay a big hit on Kaepernick to the point where Kaepernick is forced to be a pocket passer. Kaepernick, though, if he gets to run wild, I feel that the Baltimore Ravens defense, who did give up a lot of rushing yards this year, was one of the worst Ravens rushing defensive teams of all time, could lose this football game because Frank Gore, Michael James, and Colin Kaepernick, that's a deadly three-headed dragon waiting to attack you, not to mention Vernon Davis and Michael Crabtree.
Well, you see, the thing with me, and I'm disagreeing with you here, okay? Let me just start with that. Okay, so the thing is, for me, I got to go with the Baltimore Ravens, and, you know, they were my Super Bowl pick before the year started. In the preseason, I did pick the Baltimore Ravens, but it goes a little bit more deeper than that, and let me go into why. Offensively, what are you going to do? Or actually, defensively for the 49ers more. What are you going to do to stop the Ravens offense? What are you going to do? Okay, Joe Flacco has that deep arm. We already know about that. So you have to put two safeties over the top, put them deep, and that's what you have to do. If you don't do it, he's going to beat you deep. But the problem is, once you do that, what are you going to do about Ray Rice? Okay? We already know what Ray Rice can do, and you're going to need those safeties watching that because once he gets past those defensive linemen, which he can, and then maybe can get past those linebackers. I understand they look so scary, Navarro Bowman and Patrick Willis, but sooner or later he's going to get past them, and then what's going to happen? Those Steelers are going to be all the way back there, and I don't have faith in the 49ers cornerbacks to take their attention off of the Baltimore Ravens wide receivers in time to get and stop Ray Rice. Because the cornerbacks are going to be too focused on Torrey Smith and Anquan Bolden and Dennis Pitta and all of these weapons that Joe Flacco has. So offensively, I really am not sure that the Baltimore Ravens can be stopped. The way they're playing offensively right now, the way Joe Flacco is throwing the football well, and the way that Anquan Bolden has been the unspoken MVP for this team. Yes, Joe Flacco's played great, but let's not forget about Anquan Bolden has said, I will win a Super Bowl now. Torrey Smith is their best wide receiver. You haven't even been able to tell that the way Anquan Bolden has been playing as of late, including 2 touchdowns in the past game. So let's not forget that. Ultimately, when it comes to the San Francisco 49ers offense, it's very scary, okay? And there's no doubt about that. But I believe that John Harbaugh is going to have a plan in mind to find a way to stop these guys. I also believe that Ray Lewis, okay, even though the read option, everybody's worried about the read option, but not even Ray Lewis, okay? They'd be kind of dumb to put Ray Lewis on that quarterback spy because, you know, Ray Lewis, I'm not sure if he can keep up with Kaepernick. But everybody's not thinking about Donnell Ellerbe, who has been playing great for the Ravens, okay? Donnell Ellerbe has been an unspoken defensive MVP for the Baltimore Ravens. He's making some big-time tackles, all right? So I think Donnell Ellerbe, put him on a quarterback spy, and then whenever Colin Kaepernick is going to run, he's going to have to outrun this man because even though this man is big, probably 260 pounds, Ellerbe will cut up to you, and he'll tackle your ass, okay, Colin Kaepernick? You better be ready for that. So, with all that, I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens to win the Super Bowl. Anything else to add, Chase?
I would like to say, I would like to give two X factors of the game. I already mentioned one, Jacoby Jones from the Baltimore Ravens, and my other X factor for the San Francisco 49ers is Delaney Walker, the tight end. I think that he's also going to be a big X factor for the San Francisco 49ers. He's a sleeper in this game.
It's time for your College Minute of the Week.
What's up, guys? Chase Oliver here for the College Football Minute of the Week. Drafting season is starting. Yay! Who's excited? I know I am. Now it's time to talk about one of the big prospects of this year's draft, quarterback Geno Smith out of West Virginia University. Earlier on in college football season, Geno Smith himself was in the running for the Heisman. But after West Virginia tumbled against Texas Tech, Geno Smith's Heisman stock went down. What does Geno Smith have for the NFL? Geno Smith is a very, very good deep ball thrower, has nice pocket presence, and also is pretty accurate throwing on the run. He's not as fast as an RG3 or Michael Vick, and I don't really see him making too many plays on his feet, but no doubt he's an interesting quarterback talent. He's probably the first or second best quarterback in this draft. Next week, I'm going to be discussing about Star Latui, defensive tackle out of Utah, and talk about what he has to bring to the NFL. Geno Smith is projected by most people to go number 1 to the Kansas City Chiefs, and that is my College Football Minute.
Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Yeah. Here comes the, no. Here comes the, oh. Here comes the, y'all don't really want it.
That's right, it's time for our pulled over segment. I am the Cobb Chase. As always, you are the perpetrator, Chase. Who are you this week?
I'm Andrew Luck. Yeah, talk strong.
And we have 2 people in this car. Who are you?
Well, I'm Matt Schaub, Houston Texans quarterback.
Okay, so Andrew, Luck, and Matt Schaub, you guys are coming from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And I got this report that, y'all stunk it up at the Pro Bowl. Well, what happened, okay? But what happened?
Well, yeah, no, Andrew, let me talk here. Earl Thomas got me on one play, and there was nothing I can do. And to be honest here, Andrew's a rookie. You can't really blame him. I know he's a smart kid, but I also threw a couple of interceptions that I shouldn't have thrown. It was just poor play on my part, and I blame it. Well, I look at it like this. We were losing bad, and I tried to work my comeback magic like always. It just didn't happen. Chuck Strong was not there at the Pro Bowl.
Well, you could say, Chuck Strong, whatever, but are you insinuating, Andrew, that you need Chuck Strong in order to win these games? Is this what we're going to see when Chuck Strong isn't around?
Well, I need Chuck Strong, yes. Chuck Pagano inspired not only me, but the Indianapolis Colts and the Indianapolis Colts cheerleaders into doing better for the fans. And that's what we did. And Chuck Pagano is my guy. And I just felt different, not having my Colts receivers and my Colts linemen. And so I got scared.
And Matt Schaub, I got a question for you. What is it with your haircut, okay? I never understand what the hell kind of haircut do you have?
Well, you see, I'm getting older. You know that. It's hard for me to, keep growing hair. Lori asks me this every single night, officer. It just hurts me. It just hurts me that people always have to ask me about my hair. They don't ask me, why are you a great quarterback in the NFL? They just ask me, what is up with your hair? Even Arian Foster, with his mole on his face, asks me, what is up with your hair? Oh, it's okay. It's okay, Matt. Don't cry, Matt. Shut up, Andrew. Leave me alone.
Alright, well, I've come to a conclusion, and I'm sorry, but both of you are guilty. Andrew, look, you are guilty of talking like you're, oh God, like you have something in your mouth. We're going to keep this show PG-13. And Matt Schaub, you're guilty of having a bad haircut. So, fix that, and then you'll be good.
Hashtag Chuck Strong, everybody.
Dive into the Pro Bowl a little bit, and yes, we will talk a little bit about the Pro Bowl. It was another Pro Bowl game. It was 62-35 final score, another high-scoring game. It started off with pretty decent defense. I mean, at one point, it was like 7-7 with a good 3 minutes left in the first quarter. There were some good hits in there by, like, Geno Atkins and such. But then it really turned back into the old Pro Bowl. So, Chase, just give me your thoughts on the Pro Bowl.
Well, the first half, I would say, was pretty entertaining for both teams. But it seemed like the AFC side just seemed to do stupid stuff. Like, Matt Schaub was an idiot throughout the whole Pro Bowl. It just shows why he's not a Pro Bowl quarterback. There's too much miscues. I understand that these are not their actual teammates, and I know the Pro Bowl is supposed to be relaxing. But it was like when they were trying to do double reverses on kickoffs and they were fumbling, it just looked pathetic. In all honesty, the Pro Bowl, it was fun. It was fun seeing guys like Russell Wilson ball it up because Russell Wilson's a player I enjoy watching. Doug Martin, Marshawn Lynch, they look good to me. Kyle Rudolph looked really good in this game. Of course, he won the MVP. It was nice to see the defensive line and just the defense in general actually try. Like Charles Tillman, Cromartie, and LaRon Landry. Well, he actually tried in this game. I don't know why he didn't try for the Jets all season. But in all honesty, it was good to see guys, try on the defensive side of the ball instead of like last year. I remember like last year was ridiculous. I think Philip Rivers threw an interception, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if it was Brandon Marshall or another wide receiver, I can't remember, was just dancing around blocking Darrelle Revis, and they were dancing as they were blocking. It was like ridiculous to me. So at least they tried this year, but other than that, it was just another Pro Bowl game. And I wish that they kept it competitive. Like I just find it ridiculous that so many players dropped out because of injuries, and it was like the Patriots, none of them went to the Pro Bowl. Only like 2 did, Gerard Mayo and Matthew Slater, who actually looked good out there. So in all honesty, it was just kind of dumb that, I think a lot of players should show up and actually make these games entertaining. Because if the AFC side had most of its quarterbacks show up, guaranteed the Pro Bowl wouldn't have been this bad. I mean, if Tom Brady was there, the AFC would have had a closer chance. And who was the other? Was Matt Schaub actually the third quarterback? Because I don't believe that. I don't think he got third voted in. If he did, that's ridiculous to me. That someone else had to be injured. There's no way Matt Schaub's the third quarterback of the AFC. So if he is, that's fucking ridiculous. But other than that, yeah, it was just another Pro Bowl.
Well, the thing is with me, and I want to dive into the topic of keeping the Pro Bowl because, to me, I think the Pro Bowl should be kept, but there should be some things changed, or they should do something. Something was brought up along the line, something of like a skills challenge. I think that'd be interesting. Maybe see, who can throw the farthest, who can do blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I do think that you need to keep the Pro Bowl. Maybe just change some things. Maybe, I understand why. I understand why these players do not want to injure themselves. They don't want to, hurt themselves in the long run. Even though it is after the season, you have to look at the fact that even any injury can hurt you the next season. An ACL tear will put you out for a lot of next season, and they're thinking about that. They're thinking about it all the time. They're thinking about making money, and it's going to be hard for them to make money when they're injured, and you have to look at that. Look at Terrell Suggs. What was he doing? He was playing basketball, tore his Achilles, or whatever the hell he did. So you can always get injured, and they don't want to get injured in this game. So I understand why the Pro Bowl is what it is. But, I think something needs to be done. But on the actual game, like I said, it was just another Pro Bowl. But it was still nice to see what Russell Wilson can do. Kyle Rudolph won the MVP. I thought it should have been Russell Wilson, but Kyle Rudolph also had a good game. So I'll give that to him. But all in all, just another Pro Bowl, just some good things here and there, but I do think that there are some tweaks that need to be added to this game to make it more interesting for us diehard football fans. Anything more to add?
I think we should keep the Pro Bowl too. Like you said, a skills challenge. They actually did that back in 2002, I believe. They had a quarterback skills challenge, and it was actually pretty cool. Tom Brady was in there, Steve McNair was in there, and then there was someone else. I can't remember who. I think it was a random quarterback. I think it was Jacksonville's quarterback. But they were in there, and they were doing these little skill challenges, like if you could throw it at the target dot, then you have to throw it to some guy's hole, and then you have to throw it to the goalpost for extra points. That was cool. So maybe they should do something like what NBA does for their All-Star Weekend. They have the slam dunk contest, then they have the 3-point contest, and then within the All-Star game, you also have the D-League. Why don't they have it where they also add some of the CFL guys, do a CFL Bowl on the NFL Network or something, or do something different, because NBA does that where they have the D-League slam dunk contest, D-League 3-point contest, D-League, type of deal. And also it would help, a lot of NFL scouts, instead of always having to rely on the NFL draft, they can see if guys from the CFL have improved. Because there's a lot of young talent still in the CFL today. It would be a good thing to have a CFL Pro Bowl game on the NFL Network the day before the Pro Bowl game, and it could potentially help a lot of people's rosters instead of always having to dive into free agency, wasting big money on contracts of guys that may not live up to hype. Like Albert Hainsworth is one of the biggest examples. Dude was a beast for the Titans for many years. He gets signed by the Redskins. He doesn't do anything. But yet there's probably a guy in the CFL who could probably fill the need that the Redskins were looking for that Albert Hainsworth could not do. So, in all honesty, I think they should add more layers to the Pro Bowl instead of just say, hey, here's a Pro Bowl game. If they add more layers, I think there would be a lot more interest.
Yep, definitely have to agree with that. Well, that is it for us at the Before the Kickoff podcast. Make sure to check out beforethekickoff.com. Make sure to check out our Twitter at Before Kickoff. Make sure to follow us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Facebook.com/beforethekickoff. All those links in the description box. That way you can just click them down there. For all of us here Before the Kickoff, we are signing out. We're going to sit back. We're going to watch the Super Bowl. We're going to eat our Tostitos. We're going to eat our Lays. We're going to eat everything we can. We're going to drink everything we can. We're going to drink our Sprite. We're going to drink our Coca-Cola. We're going to get it all done. We're going to enjoy watching the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 47. It will be a fun one to watch.
And Beyonce.
Stay tuned at beforethekickoff.com. What was that?
And Beyonce, baby.
And Beyonce. your touch got me looking so crazy right now. And we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.